Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Durant from Sparkling Memories. Today in front of you we're going to do some fish in two different ways. One with cornmeal and white pepper and another one with flour and bread crumbs. See the difference in terms of the crunch on there? One is a little bit more like chicken and the other one you can clearly see it's actually fish in another type of breading. Okay, to get started, here we have the fish in front of us. That's on the red cutting board. The first one we have is white pepper. Then we have the grilled maize chipotle roasted garlic. And then we have the grilled maize roasted garlic and herb. Then right next to that in the green cover we have the garlic powder. And then the one without the label is actually onion powder. And then we have the quicker yellow cornmeal. And then we have the honey Dijon mustard and the Crisco, all vegetable. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is actually cut them because the size of it is quite large. So I'm going to just do it at an angle like that and do it to each one of them. Since we have 4, at this point you will end up with about 8. Maybe a little bit more because this one seems extra large. I'm going to do this one in 3 and this last one in 3. I'm doing this because the size of it is quite large. The next thing I want to get into is actually okay, so the first thing we start with is the onion powder. We're just going to put a generous amount on the top of each one. Just go according to what you think would be enough. You don't want to put on too much because you have other ingredients you're going to put on in terms of the dry seasoning. And we just start with the one side. The next one we're going to do is the garlic powder. Because each one of these have its own properties to make it a nice taste. So if you want more in terms of the flavor, then you put in more of a particular one that you want. Now, this one and this both having garlic. So even though I use garlic powder, I don't have to use a giant amount of this. But it has a lot of different properties if you don't want to use the adobo or regular salt. So the first one I'm going to start with is the roasted garlic and herb. So yes, it does have an extra helping of garlic. Because I love that when it comes to having it on some fish. I'm going to put it on every last one of them. And that's just the beginning part of the first one. At this point, you want to flip them over. And now you have another side in order to season. And since we already used the roasted garlic and herb, you could go ahead and use the chipotle roasted garlic. Notice that I didn't put each one of them with the same grill mates as the other one because both of them having garlic. You just do a generous amount. And since we know there's so much garlic, we put a little bit more onion powder. If you see it blowing in the wind, that's just the fan. And you just want to put a generous amount on each one. Get it to do exactly what you want it to do. So at this point, we want to have a few. Okay, so in front of you, we have the yellow cornmeal, which is this one. And then we have the honey Dijon mustard. At this point, we want to go ahead and add some of the white pepper to the cornmeal. You don't want to do a whole lot of it because it already has a different kind of taste. In terms of, it's different from the black pepper. See, I didn't put in too much. That is the white pepper. Because when you use the black pepper on things and you fry them, you literally going to see a difference in terms of it's going to be a little bit darker as it gets to the point it's cooking. Now I'm guessing if you're using a white, you may not have that same kind of effect, but we're about to see what happens. So we take one of the pieces of fish that's already seasoned on both sides. and we're going to put in honey Dijon mustard. Okay, you just put it down in there and you just press it. See? And then we go ahead and we put that on the other side. Now with this, we're just going to give this a little shake, just so we can get the white pepper mix in there. So now that we have it nicely coated, let's put on a little bit more. Gets kind of messy sometimes, but hey, it's going to have a really great taste when it's done. Then we want to take it and put it in the cornmeal and white pepper dry season area. What we're trying to do is get a nice coating on there, so once you actually get it into a pan, it's going to be a nice golden color. And that's how you want to get it nicely breaded on both sides. Okay, so now we're on to the fun part. We already have everything nicely breaded with the honey Dijon mustard and the cornmeal with the white pepper. So here I have a spatula and some tongs. Of course, we're going to be vice versa when we put them in and taking them out. The paper towels to soak up some of that liquid in terms of the oil. But as an ironic twist, instead of the oil, we actually went ahead and used this Crisco all vegetable shortening. And we added a little bit of the butter, just to give you an extra taste and step away from actually using just oil constantly. I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 in there because it seems to have enough space for 2, not 3 but 2. Okay, so now we have it in the pot. What we're actually going to look for is around the sides to get a little bit more darker. Then we're going to go ahead and flip it so we can actually get it fully cooked on both sides. With all this coating, I'm pretty sure the fish inside is actually going to be nicely cooked and not too dry and not overcooked. And over here is where we have the batter. So we made about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have 2 here, so there's about 10 out of the 4 large ones that we started out with. So we'll just go ahead and give this a few minutes. As you look, it's already having a slight color, but it's not dark enough to flip as yet. I would say anyway from a minute and a half or so before you actually take it out. And then you place it here onto the paper towel so you can drain out some of that liquid, or in this case the Crisco all vegetable shortening. Okay, so a few things happen. This is one of the 1, 2, and 3 out of the 10. Okay, first thing that happened in terms of having the cornmeal like this and having your food like this, what I did do is go ahead and add some flour. Then I switched up the ingredients and put in the chipotle garlic and herb, because apparently when you have it like this, it's very bland and I need a little flavor with the food. So, and another reason when I add the flour along with this mix is because it tends to come apart, as you can see here, and not stick to the fish like how this one is. Well, as you can see, that nice golden color. So to just have it with the cornmeal and the black pepper alone, the black pepper had an acquired taste that I really not quite going for. So I had to add other seasoning to spice it up and get rid of that awkward taste of the white pepper. It's not really my thing. So we just have a few here that's going to get cooked. And I'll see you when we're on the other side when you're completely done. See, this crust is a lot more like chicken, or even similar to like how catfish should be when people want a cornmeal. But we did it. So that's the end result. The one with the cornmeal and the white pepper. Had to change it up, pour something else. And this one with the flour and the breading. See the difference in terms of the crust that's on there? A lot different. So next time, this is Miss Sitara from Sparkling Memories. Bye-bye.